Are your excuses bullshit? I think they are. And the science kind of proves it. That's what's in today's podcast. Let's go.
Witness the Fitness Podcast. Discussions and ramblings of everything fitness, health, and nutrition. Let's go.
We are going to debunk some of the myths and excuses that are holding you back from achieving your health and fitness goal. We're going to deep dive into excuses that kind of sabotage our efforts to live that healthier lifestyle. So whether it's, excuses I hear a lot, whether it be lack of time or even genetics, we're going to look at the truth behind these excuses. And more importantly, give you tips to help you overcome them so we can get over these excuses and this bullshit and start living a healthier and fitter life.
The first bullshit excuse. I don't have enough time.
So let's kick things off with the I don't have enough time excuse / bullshit. I hear this loads. So let's just have a reality check. Everybody has the same 24 hours. You'll have heard that before from some motivational guru somewhere, but there is so much truth and sentiment in it. I know loads of people that have busy careers, families, really kind of tight time margins that still find time to exercise. How do they do it? Because they don't just magic it up. They have a plan and a structure that they stick to. They discipline themselves knowing that they have to do it. Do they struggle for time? Yes, we all do. We're all busy. We're all running around like headless chickens most of the time. So the fact that you're relying on that as an excuse not to exercise isn't really a thing. If you're honest, it's because you lack discipline, you lack a plan, you lack structure, and actually it would be in your best interest to apply those things overall. And then all of a sudden when you do that, you would find the time. It's not about having the time. We're all busy beings and adults. Make the time, prioritize the time, fit it into your day. Now the science proves that you don't necessarily need a lot of time. There is information out there that literally suggests that 15 minutes, just 15 minutes of high intense work can have dramatic effects on your health and fitness. Are you really telling me if push comes to shove, you couldn't find 15 minutes in your day when we know the truth about how much time you spend on your phone? Doing what? How much time you spend watching the TV? Doing what? That you can't find time to just high intense work for 15 minutes, whatever that may mean. I think you will find that if you really valued it and wanted it, that you would make this time overall. And it is significant. So let's move on from that and kind of go that let's just say that you can't find the time. My question would be, why aren't you prioritizing your own health and fitness? What do you think is more important to do with your time than work on your health and fitness? So let's say you look at your life and there is no time to exercise because of X, Y, and Z. Even extreme things like children and family stuff. In my humble opinion, you've got your priorities screwed up. And sooner or later, your health and well-being, because you're not prioritizing, will let you down. Now, one thing I hear is I ain't got time because of the family and the kids. But let's reframe that. What do you think would be in your kids' best interest? You being fit and able over long periods of time, so you could look after them when you need to. And you also role modeling and demonstrating to your children that looking after oneself is really important and they should do the same. So you not having enough time I really don't believe it. You not having discipline, you not having a plan, you not having priorities is the real biggest thing. And the fact that you feel like you may feel like we need lots of time, it's not true. If we're honest, the science and the research suggests that you could even just start off with 15 minutes per day and it'll be more than enough. So, as far as I'm concerned, that's the first bullshit excuse that you don't have time done with.
The second bullshit excuse: I don't have the willpower.
Bullshit excuse number 2 that can kind of creep into your mind is that I don't have the willpower. I just can't carry on doing this. So, it might be you're like, oh, I can't carry on with this healthy eating diet. It's killing me. Or, exercising regular. Oh my God, I can't do it. I'm mentally exhausted. I haven't got this willpower to keep going. Now, it's important to understand what willpower is. And willpower is a bit like motivation, and it's finite. It will run out at different stages, and there'll be times where you haven't got willpower, like there's times you haven't got motivation. So we need to tap into kind of seeing that as a added bonus. Having motivation and having willpower is a bit of a motivation. So a couple of things that you can do practically to make sure that willpower and another way of looking at motivation doesn't kind of detract you from your health and fitness goals is to make sure that you are setting realistic goals. Willpower and the will to carry on can really burn out if you do set up some inappropriate goals. Let's say that your goal was to train 5 times a week, knowing that you currently barely train once a week. Now, while your willpower and your motivation's up those first few weeks because you're on it, I'm really want to do this, I'm motivated, then doing them 5 a week will probably be a likelihood. But because of the jump up from where you currently are to that high level, not really training at all, to then training 5 times a week, you ain't lasting that. It's too much on your body. It's too much change, in terms of sleep pattern. It's going to intrude on nutrition. It's going to intrude on, it's too much of a jump. So I can guarantee within a few weeks, your willpower will burn out because you'll just be tired. Same with your diet. If you're just trying to bite off too much, more than you can chew, excuse the pun, just doing too much will burn you out quite quickly and your willpower will rapidly disappear. So one way to deal with that is to set appropriate goals. So if you don't train at all, just training once or twice a week for the next few weeks is more than doable, and you'll build confidence and you won't burn out from it. So your willpower won't get a beating. And then all of a sudden, once you've got that capability, well, actually, 2 times a week, I'm feeling great. My body has had time to adjust. My mind has had time to adjust. I'm going to start doing 3 or 4. And then a few weeks, few months down the line, I'm training regularly 5 times a week, but I've done them small incremental builds up so it doesn't burn me out. Half the time you're losing willpower is because you are setting inappropriate goals that are leading you to burning out. The second thing you can do to really make sure that you kind of not burning out with willpower and motivation is to focus on habit formation. You want to make it a habit. So I will exercise and eat healthily even when I don't feel like it, when my willpower is not there and my motivation is not there. How do I do that? Because I've built up habit, and you can do the same too. One way to do this is to add and reduce what's known as friction. So what this means, I want to make things that are good for me, exercising and healthy eating, I want to make sure there is less friction, less problems in the way. And then things that are kind of my bad habits and stuff, I want to increase friction and make them harder to do. So one quick example might be reducing friction to help me train and exercise is make sure I'm booked in for all my group sessions for the next 2 weeks in advance. A little bit of accountability there. I'm also going to make sure that I've got a spare kit bag in my car just in case I'm running late or whatever it may be. I'm reducing friction from the good habits I want. In terms of healthy eating, all of a sudden then it's put in, we'll just say, the noughties at the top and at the back of the cupboard. They're still there. So things like the chocolate, the biscuits, and all them vices that you may have, they're a little bit harder to get and they're out of sight. And then the healthy options that I actually do want to eat because I know they're better for me, like the fruit bowl and my I prep my meals for work. They're at the front of the fridge. They're on the side. So I see them. And let's say I've got a little bit of I want a bit of a sugar kick. I'll guarantee if your fruit bowl is full and in view and your chocolate and biscuits is at the back of the cupboard slightly inconvenient, adding friction, you are more than likely going to pick up the fruit. So in terms of willpower, understand that it is finite. It's like motivation. It will run out and we need to create habit. You do that by setting proper, realistic goals and creating habits in the long term. I'll guarantee if you've got the excuse of, your willpower burning out, you'll have either one of those or both not quite in place. And you should really work on setting some realistic goals and building them up, and then creating them habits by adding and reducing friction where need be.
Bullshit excuse number 3. It's my genetics.
It runs in the family. We're all like this. We're predispositioned to it. I'm just big boned. It's the way I am. Stop. Just stop. Let's tackle the genetics that predetermine your health and fitness destiny. Now, genetics do play a role. They play a role in terms of like physical abilities and capabilities. So, if we look at extremes, over time, basketball, they start selecting really, really tall players. Why? Because it's that genetic trait is useful for that sport overall. So we know that people's genetics vary, and it then kind of plays into having a predisposition to a certain exercise. So like being tall, slender and lean would then, the probability of you being better at endurance running would increase. You being, carrying generally more muscle mass and things like that, and being a little bit shorter, you would know that generally strength-based stuff they would be a little bit more handy on. So genetics do play a role, but let's take a look at how that affects your overall health. Now, a lot of people, like I say, will blame family factors. Now, when you look at family units, and you can look at your own family unit and think about this, yes, you share a genetic pool. There is similarity there. It's not completely the same, but there's similarity. But you also share lifestyle traits. When I grew up, when I was a child, we exercised and did all them things in and around that family unit. And it would, part of that depended on what my mum and dad did, prioritized, and all those bits and pieces. So take a look at your own lifestyle habits. Were they the same as your parents overall? Now, when you look at your parents and your family unit, are they healthy? If they're not, they're more than likely not doing, things that improve their lifestyle. They're not eating well. They're not exercising regularly. And the chance of they've done that, you've probably been brought up with the same habits, and you're going to get the same things that them habits kind of bring to the forth. So if, I don't know, your predisposition to high cholesterol, whatever that means, because it runs in your family, look at your family unit, look at the lifestyle factors that they have, that you may share the same. I'll guarantee they could be improved upon. Now, research backs this up. Research shows that lifestyle factors completely influence your overall health. And to quote this right, they also improve, bear with me, they also improve, I've lost the page, they also improve, they modulate gene expression. That's a big word. They modulate gene expression. So gene expression is how your genetics are kind of operating. The lifestyle factors that you choose or don't choose completely influence the way your genetics works. So it don't really matter about your genes. You can influence them via the lifestyle factors. So you cannot rely on this excuse that it just runs in your genes and it runs in your family. There is maybe an element of truth of that, but lifestyle factors have a massive influence. To quote a study published in the PLOS Genetics, found that regular exercise can lead to changes in gene expression associated with improved metabolic health, even in individuals with genetic predispositions to conditions like obesity and type 2 diabetes. That research found in the PLOS Genetics proves that the lifestyle factors, if you exercise regularly, prioritize sleep, deal with your stress, eat healthily, your overall health will improve regardless of if you're kind of predispositioned overall to anything like even obesity or type 2 diabetes. You need to take hold. So what do you need to do? Like I've just said, you need to exercise regularly, you need to start eating healthier, you need to prioritize sleep, and you need to manage your stress better. Do that and you become healthier. It really doesn't matter about your genetics. And I think that's that excuse done with.
Bullshit excuses number 4. I'm too tired.
I'm too tired. Well, I'm fucking tired of your bullshit excuse that you're too tired. So let's take a deep look in that, you don't have the energy, you're too tired, and how this is just bullshit. It is complete bullshit. Research proves that if you are feeling tired, that one of the best things that you can do is go and exercise. It will increase your energy levels. It boosts your metabolism. It makes you more productive. It releases what we would consider positive, happy hormones into the system. So by the time you're done exercising, I will guarantee you won't be feeling tired. And the best thing that you could have done in that state is definitely go and exercise overall. Now, to help alongside this, one of the reasons why some people are feeling tired and lethargic, we'll just say, is quite a few things. They're not building positive habit formation. They need to get into the mode of just doing this. So part of you is like, I don't really care how you feel. Whether you feel tired or not, I don't have the energy, go and exercise. Your body has got loads of fat. Even if you're in the healthy range, let's say you're not overweight in any way, shape or form, you've got loads of body fat. 1 pound of body fat is equivalent to 3,000 calories. Let's say you went for a workout, average workout, 400 to 450 calories. You've got more than enough energy in that system to deal with that. So that's not happening. Go and build the habit and routine. Second thing, are you sleeping well? Do you prioritize your sleep? Usually everyone's sleep pattern, they'll have a set time they get up, usually in and around for work, but they're not always, we'll say, disciplined to go bed at the same time. And they'll stay up watching bullshit TV, watching another episode on Netflix. And then they have 4, maybe 5 hours of sleep. Their body's lacking sleep. And then they wonder why they feel tired. How about you go to bed at an appropriate time, prioritize your health, your energy levels, your production, the way you feel will be so much better if you actually structured your sleep pattern more productively. Another reason for feeling tired and lethargic is usually the things that you put in your mouth. If you're eating shitty food still, high fat, high processed, your body's not going to feel good. And therefore you don't feel good. So maybe start prioritizing eating healthier, knowing that you feel better. Forget about the action. If I give you 2 options, this is you feeling shit, tired, fatigued, miserable. This is you feeling energized, good. Which one would you take? You'd take the good one, wouldn't you? Now, all I say to you is like, if you ate healthily quite regularly, that good option would turn up a lot more than you realize. So, food, are you eating well enough to produce this kind of energized, feeling good, positive body? If not, work on it. And then another crux, what people fall into is caffeine crashes. We're in this, I love a coffee, don't get me wrong, but we're in this kind of trend where caffeine is just chucked at you, like the posh coffees that you get out, the pre-workouts full of caffeine before you go and exercise. Like, caffeine's everywhere, but it can be useful with the relevant amount, but we're usually consuming way too much. And you'll actually, if you ingest way too much caffeine, you're gonna have these crashes where you start to feel lethargic and tired. And one of the best things you can do is just kind of rein in the amount of caffeine that you have in your overall system. So if you are feeling tired, focus on your sleep, focus on your food, make sure you're using caffeine in a more positive sense. And even if you're still feeling tired, so what? Who fucking cares? Exercise is going to turn that round. Exercise is the best thing that you can go and do. By the time you've done with it, I will guarantee you will feel substantially better, simply because of that boost to your energy levels, boost to your hormones, boost to your metabolism, and boost to your overall productivity. You ain't too tired to go and do something healthy and positive for your health, your body, and your mind. So go to it. That is the I'm too tired bullshit excuse done with.
I am too old. Bullshit excuse number 5.
Let me start with a slightly scary fact that from the age of around 30, if you don't exercise, you lose about 1% of your muscle mass every single year. So if you're not regularly lifting weights, on average, you will lose 1% of that muscle mass. So basically, if you don't exercise and lift weights, just slowly but surely, you're going to become frail. You're going to become weak. And by the time you do hit older age, you're probably not going to like the condition that you're in. So let me just go over some kind of stats and facts and what research points out to us in terms of aging and why exercise is so important, and you should never ever get into the mindset that you're too old to be doing this exercise malarkey. It may change, but it's really important that we kind of keep exercising, even more so as we get older and older. So, you're going to undergo changes as you get older. That's happening. Your body's going to age, but you can mitigate that, and exercise has been proven to mitigate, slow down. So a study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that older adults who engaged in regular exercise experienced improvements in cardiovascular health, muscular strength, mobility, regardless of their age. So if you just regular exercise, you will have them benefits regardless. So getting older, as long as you're training and looking after your body, you mitigate all them risk value. You don't have to become old. You can really slow that down and mitigate it just by exercising it regularly. So, according to research published in the Journal for Aging and Physical Activity, regular exercise, including strength training and balancing exercises, can help reduce the risks of falls and improve overall mobility in older adults. Why aren't you exercising? If you're turning around going, I'm too old for this, you're just putting yourself into an early grave, and the research kind of backs that up overall. You do not have to stop exercising. It is in your best interests to not stop exercising. If you're getting older and you're starting to see signs that your body is aging and let you down, that is a flag. Right now, start to exercise. Where you start on that journey, you may need help with. If you haven't exercised for 20 years and you're now at an age that things are becoming tougher, it doesn't matter that it's a tough road ahead. It's in your best interest to start exercising as a older adult. So kind of get on with it. You do not want to become frail and weak. If you don't use your muscle and your body in an effective and appropriate way, you are going to lose it. The evidence is in. You're not too old. The moment you stop exercising, you start getting old. You start aging. The type of exercise and the kind of frequency and the intensities, they're going to change. Don't get me wrong. What you do or could do in your 20s versus what you can do in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, beyond, is going to be extremely different. But when we look at it, you need to regularly exercise, and your body, your health will be so much better for it. You're not too old. You turn old the moment you stop exercising. Just remember that.
Strategies to overcome the bullshit. Let's go!
So in today's podcast, we've looked at the 5 big excuses that people use and the bullshit they come out with for reasons why they don't stay on top of their health and fitness goals to their own detriment. So let's summarize it, and then let's go through the kind of key strategies overall to make sure that you don't fall into the bullshit and you stay on track with your health and fitness goals, because deep down it's the right thing for you. So you don't have time, you don't have the willpower, it's your genetics, and you're too tired and you're too old. Remember, all of these are bullshit. Next time you have these thoughts, I want you to remember this one little sentence: that is bullshit. You do have the time. You can make it. You can plan. You can prioritize. You can be disciplined. It's not necessarily going to be easy, but everyone has the same 24 hours. Crack on. Willpower. Willpower is finite. Just like motivation, it's going to come and it's going to go. What we need to do is set up appropriate goals and set up habits, therefore not relying so heavily on willpower and motivation. Genetics are completely influenced. They modulate gene expression. Exercise modulate gene expression. Your lifestyle factors, if you eat healthily, exercise, prioritize sleep, deal with your stress, your genes will work better. Proof. There is research around it. Now, if you're too tired, go and exercise. It's the precise thing you need to boost your energy levels, change, kind of reset your hormones, for want of a better word, be more productive and boost that metabolism. If you are feeling tired, there's some other things that you need to prioritize. And the strategies overall of sleep, food, inappropriate caffeine use. And then finally, you being too old, as we've just talked about, you're going to get old the moment you stop exercising. And if you've never really had a lifestyle of exercising and you're starting to feel your age, now is the time to act. Start regular exercising, get in there, get involved, lift some weights, do some cardio. Just go and ask for some help to make sure that you're definitely starting at an appropriate point. So to summarize or prioritize the key strategies, the first one would be prioritize you. Prioritize your health, prioritize your self-care. Even if we go back to some of the excuses around family and stuff and children, it's really important that you look after yourself. You be a level of selfish so you can be then selfless. That's a thing. Let me say that again. You have to be selfish to have the ability to be selfless. Look after yourself first. But if you truly want to make sure that your children live their best, healthiest, fittest life, then you need to role model to them so they understand that looking after oneself is critical, and they see behaviors offset by you. And you do that by prioritizing your own health, self-care, fitness. Prioritize you. So that's number one. Number two is focus on the consistency of healthy choices. You don't need to go crazy. You don't need to go extremes. Just exercising regularly, healthy eating regularly, prioritize sleep a little bit more. Just focus on being consistent and turning up. To help alongside that, get some support and some accountability from positive people that prioritize the same things that you do. There is people in the world that do not prioritize their health and fitness. They're not bothered. They will be later when their health and fitness deteriorates and it lets them down. Well, for them, they've got a harder job. It starts later. But start to look for people that are aligned with your goals. You will find loads of support, loads of accountability that will help push you along. So your main strategies, regardless of your excuse, start to prioritize yourself. Be consistent with these actions and these strategies and go get some support and accountability. And I'll guarantee you achieving your health and fitness goals and sustaining them for a purposeful, independent, strong, energy-filled life will be a lot closer. And your excuses, your bullshit excuses, they'll be a thing of the past. Thank you so much for joining me today for episode 9 of the Witness the Fitness podcast. Your excuses are bullshit. Make sure you subscribe to Witness the Fitness to stay up to date with all the insights and tips and tricks into everything health and fitness. And until next time, stay active, stay motivated, and remember, your excuses are bullshit.
Thanks for joining us for today's episode of the Witness the Fitness podcast. The place to be for everything fitness, health, and nutrition. Tune in next time